Yes, welcome to the show today, fellas. You're going to get in late on a conversation I'm having on my forum. I had to cut the first part off because it involved private information and field reports, stuff like that. So you guys are coming in late because you're not members of the forum. It takes me back in my mind, too, when I was younger, fellas. Going out to the nightclubs, having white women pulled from me and scolded for dancing with me after I finally got the courage to ask them to dance. Then after I became more comfortable with it, I began to, ask more girls to dance. It was like nothing, put your hand down, hey, let's dance. Reach over, lean over, hey, let's dance. Pull them to you. And I remember as my confidence kept growing and growing, I realized, why was I so afraid to begin with? I could kick myself for wasting all that time being afraid. Fear. Fear of being shot down. And I was shot down. I've been shot down before. But then you learn to develop your instinct for the women that do want to dance. Maybe not with you, but they want to dance. You can tell when they're in the clubs, they're sitting in the chairs, they're moving around, or they're standing, they're dancing. They look like they want to have fun. Those are the ones you want to find to practice your dance on. Because they're there to have a good time. Hopefully meet Mr. Right or someone they can date. But they want to have a good time also. So if they don't mind dancing with a black dude, back in those days, I was right there. I learned to be right there. I learned to pick them out and spot them. And it's an instinct you develop over time. But you can't read a book and get it. Okay? Just like you could read a book on dance, but if you don't have the real experience, you're going to suck ass. Look like Raul. I believe he's taken some of my dance courses, or got some lessons from me because he put his hand on the trapezius and hand on the hip. I'm not sure if he went through my dance program or read my nightclub game book, because that's what I talk about in there also. And I've also talked about it in several shows, and I've talked about it in several videos and demonstrated on the main video on YouTube. But if you could practice all you want by yourself, you don't know what's going to happen when you first actually get into the real situation. That's why you need real practice in the real world, fellas. You got to get off the net. If you're on the net for hours and hours, you're wasting your life away. That is not the program. You got to get out there into the real world. Get to the coffee shops. Look for choosing signals. Get to the bookstores. Look for choosing signals. You got to constantly be in motion, out there attracting women to you. Because the more energy you have in motion, the more things will come to you. You can't do it sitting at home in your house behind 4 closed doors or behind 4 walls. You got to get out there into the real world. Get to the nightclubs. Get to the bars. Get to these social situations. Every town has a social newspaper. In Sacramento, it's called the Sacramento News and Review. Look in those kind of papers for the happenings. Go to the art shows. Go to the openings. Just show up. At the art shows, you get free wine and cheese and crackers and stuff. Go to that stuff. Go to the galleries. Get out there. You got to get out of your house, fellas. You cannot stay behind your closed doors. You got to get out into the real world. That is one thing good that the pickup artists are doing for the nerds and the goobers and the geeks and the SpongeBobs, the nice guys, the creepy shy guys, and all those other guys who have been ostracized from the game. I was one of those guys at one time. I was like that in my youth. You guys know about the girl that I had a crush on in high school. It took me all year to ask her to senior prom to the day before. And I was so nervous I didn't think about it. You gotta I already had bought my suit for my graduation picture, so I didn't think nothing of it. You gotta get a corsage. She said no, so I deserved what I got for being so stupid. Of course, I didn't go to my senior prom. I was brokenhearted. I was crushed. I really was crushed too, because I really had a big time nice guy crush on Archery. But I vowed never, never again, never again. And look at me now. I began to practice after that. I went into the world. Back then, this is the 70s, so shopping malls were just a brand new thing. I went to the malls. That's when I did my major hoe chasing. I practiced. That's how I met my ex-wife, in the library at college, junior college. And I was nervous, of course. But I did the dating thing. I talked to her. I got her phone number. I called her up, asked her if she'd like to go see this new movie. I think it was either Star Wars or John Travolta's Staying Alive. I don't recall which one it was, but it was one of those. It was a box office. I believe it was a Staying Alive one, now that I think about it. But the line was long. And then I took her to dinner afterwards. I took her home, and I went for that first kiss. I did it. Okay? I manned up. I grew the balls. All right? And that's what you guys got to do. You got to grow your balls and man up and do it. Now, I was nervous. Don't get me wrong. You know, I talked to her over dinner. I didn't know what to say. I was, my conversation. I had no rap, as they used to say back in the days. They would say, Chris, you got to get a rap. I didn't know what a fucking rap was. What's a rap? Rap on the door? Rap on my head? It's hard enough. So on and on, I developed it. The ability to be a man and go for what I wanted. As each and every one of you guys have to do. You got to become men. Reaching for that first kiss, and she talked about it, she said it sucked. I grabbed her by the chin, lifted her face up, because that's the way I see my dad kiss my mom. I didn't know how to kiss a girl. Reached down, pecked lips. I don't think I even went for some tongue. I wasn't really that deep into the tongue thing until later on anyway. And on the way home, you should have felt my vibe. I was so excited. Just like when I got laid for the first time. Didn't wash my hand for a few days because I could smell her scent. I'm very animalistic. In case you don't know, I smell. I can smell things all around me. I can hear shit. Very in tune to my senses. So my sense of touch is very sensitive. Girls, when they stroke my back, just jump out of my skin. So, very erotic, very passionate, basically. So, on the way home, driving my car, I was on cloud 9 when I went back to my mom's house. Cloud 9. I was so excited. I did it! Yes! And that was my first girlfriend. And then I was nervous about calling her the second time. I didn't know if she liked me or not. I didn't know that I was the rebound, but that's another story. The main thing is I did it. And it was scary. I was scared. I was nervous. Especially the first time we had sex. I don't remember it. But I was so scared. And we didn't use condoms back then. This is the 70s. She was on birth control. Actually, she had just had a baby. And she had told me that she only had one, but she actually had two. So anyway, I didn't care. Because I wanted to get laid. But case in point, I saw her when I came around the corner at the library. We made eye contact and we smiled. Now listen, we made eye contact and we smiled. Okay? She returned the eye contact. And that is what gave me the permission and the right to approach her. That is what gave me the go-ahead. She returned the favorable eye contact I made with her. And my first words to her, and I still remember to this day, were, "Are you into parapsychology too?" Raul reminds me a lot of myself. I was a perfectionist back then. It's all because I was insecure. I was very insecure. I was racially insecure. I was being exposed to the world. So that's not good for, being exposed to the American society. It doesn't really work well for a lot of black people. You white folks, you have no idea what it's like. I was smarter than the other brothers around me. So it made me kind of hyper alert and hyper aware, as you see educated brothers tend to be. They're smarter than the average brothers out there, average people in general, and they become super alert, super aware. That creates an inferiority complex, because in America, black folks were a depressed race of people, or whatever you want to call it. So I had a lot of stuff to walk through and grow through to become who I am today. That's my point. And I read a lot of books, but it actually was the actual work that I had to do. Those books did not help me when I went to the nightclubs. They did not help me. I just had to do it. And that's what each and every one of you have to do. You got to do it. I could show you the path of how to do it, but you have to do it. I could tell you how to put your hand on her, put your hand here, and what to do after all that, and how to pick out the right women, like I do in my nightclub game book. How to find the women that want to fuck that night and all that. But you're the one who has to make the steps to do it. To walk right, left, until you're in front of her face. You are the one who has to do it. So you have to grow your balls. That's why I'm so strong on becoming. You can't put on a mask. I'll bet you the guys who put on the mask never really walk over. Very few of them actually walk over across the room and do it. They happen to be in the vicinity of the girls that they meet. They never do that long walk. Like we remember in your high school, you make that long walk across the gymnasium to ask a girl to dance. That long walk. Then you get shot down, you walk back, your boys are clowning you, laughing and shit. Anybody remember that shit? I do. I went to one dance and never again after that. So in closing, I want to reiterate about becoming, because when you become, you do the internal growth that all of you guys need. Internal growth is what will get you there and keep you there. Okay, fellas? Your game will be strong then. Peace.